5 vitamins for hyperthyroidism and Hashimoto's, or underactive thyroid. Human beings can feel happy, sad, anxious, and so many more emotions, all thanks to tiny chemical messengers called hormones. Besides these feelings, our hormones are responsible for a ton of other important functions, such as growth and development, controlling blood sugar levels, and even supporting sexual health. These hormones are released by special organs called endocrine glands, and our body has 8 major endocrine glands. But what happens if they don't work properly? The simple answer is that many of the body's functions may be affected, depending on which gland is malfunctioning. One of these glands is the thyroid gland, which releases 2 hormones called triiodothyronine or T3 and thyroxine or T4. The thyroid gland is present in the throat region, in the front, across your windpipe, and is in the shape of a butterfly. When the body doesn't produce enough thyroid hormones, this condition is called an underactive thyroid or hypothyroidism. It can happen due to several reasons, but one main cause is Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune disorder which causes the thyroid to be underactive. According to the National Institute of Health, 5 out of 100 Americans suffer from hypothyroidism. So knowing how to tackle this problem could be beneficial for those in need. That is why in this video, we'll share some important vitamins and other dietary supplements that are helpful for people with hypothyroidism. But before you start treating something, it's important to know what the root cause is. Many cases of hypothyroidism may be linked to genes because it is estimated that around 65% of thyroid hormones are genetically determined. Nevertheless, it can happen because of other conditions that happen due to external conditions. We're going to mention some of these in this video. Number 4. Hashimoto's disease. Just like any other autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's disease causes the immune cells to attack the body's healthy cells. But in this case, the immune cells attack the thyroid gland. This can cause a decline in the production of thyroid hormones and result in hypothyroidism, where the body's need for thyroid hormones isn't met sufficiently. While it may occur rarely amongst the US population, it is the leading cause of hypothyroidism in US adults and occurs more commonly in women than men. Number 3. Thyroiditis. When the thyroid becomes inflamed, the condition is called thyroiditis. It can happen due to many reasons, such as Hashimoto's disease, due to some infectious organism, interactions with certain drugs, or because of renal thyroiditis, where the thyroid becomes inflamed and the tissue becomes scarred. At first, the thyroid releases a lot of thyroid hormones, but it soon starts to lack hormones that can be released, and this can lead to hypothyroidism. Number 2. Drug interactions. The drugs that are used to treat hyperthyroidism or any other diseases not related to the thyroid gland may affect the thyroid's functioning and cause it to release fewer hormones. Some of these drugs include interleukin, sulfonylureas, nitroprusside, lithium, amiodarone, thalidomide, and perchlorate. These drugs don't need to cause the underproduction of thyroid hormones, but they have been linked to the condition. Number 1. Thyroid removal surgery. Removal of the thyroid gland is called a thyroidectomy, which is usually performed to treat problems that relate to the thyroid gland, such as an overactive thyroid, a cancerous mutation growing on the thyroid, or goiter. In some cases, where the whole gland needs to be removed, people need to be treated with medication and supplements with thyroid hormones to help their bodies function properly. Otherwise, their bodies may lack their needed dose of T3 and T4, which can cause some problems. If you're wondering what is the worst that could happen if the body is missing only 2 hormones, boy do we have some news for you. This is because these hormones play an important part in the growth, development, and metabolism of the body. So when the body suffers from hypothyroidism, it is manifested in many ways. It depends on how severe the condition is, but usually, the first signs include gaining weight all of a sudden or feeling so low on energy that you often feel tired. Hypothyroidism patients also complain about feeling cold, their skin feels dry, and their muscles feel weak. In women, hypothyroidism also exhibits itself as irregular period cycles, or when they do get their period, it usually has a heavier flow. Other complications include a slower heartbeat, thinning of hair, and even depression. Hypothyroidism also expresses its presence differently in different age groups. For example, infants with hypothyroidism may have trouble gaining healthy weight, constipation, and a tongue that is larger than the normal size. All these symptoms sound awful and are even more terrible to have. So besides medical treatments, what options do we have? Well, the lack of some nutrients has been linked to an underactive thyroid gland. So maybe adding some vitamins to your diet can help restore this hormonal balance and get the body back in its optimal shape. We've compiled a list of 5 vitamins that can help your thyroid. Number 5. Vitamin D. Vitamin D has been associated with reducing the occurrence of autoimmune diseases. Consequently, people who have hypothyroidism also usually lack sufficient vitamin D in their bodies to help regulate the body's immune function, so that its cells aren't attacked by the immune system. You can get vitamin D from cod liver oil, fish, or dairy products. One other way is to get some sunshine and let your skin make vitamin D from cholesterol. Number 4. Vitamin C or ascorbic acid. Many of us already know that vitamin C has powerful healing properties, but its connection with hypothyroidism may remain a mystery. In Hashimoto's disease, the body's immune system starts to attack the thyroid gland because of damaged, leaky intestines. That's right. When too much gluten starts to leak toxic substances into the body's immune cells start to attack any protein that resembles gluten, and unfortunately, this includes the thyroid tissue. Luckily, vitamin C's healing properties can help recover from such serious damage. Moreover, many studies have also found that the amount of T3 and T4 in serum improves after taking vitamin C. If you want to add vitamin C to your diet, you should eat citrus fruits, bell peppers, and kale. And if these don't work out for you, you can always get supplements. Number 3. Vitamin A. Contrary to popular belief, vitamin A isn't just meant for healthy eyes. It helps to stop the release of thyroid-stimulating hormone, or TSH, which is released by the body's master gland, the pituitary gland, to direct the thyroid gland to make thyroid hormones. Vitamin A is important for the metabolism of thyroid hormone, and one study found that supplementing with vitamin A might reduce the risk of hypothyroidism in postmenopausal women. However, an overdose of vitamin A has also been linked to contributing to hypothyroidism, so it should be considered carefully. Number 2. Vitamin K2. Vitamin K2 is generally considered good for bone health, and that is because it helps to absorb calcium in the body, making this mineral readily available to the body. For someone with a thyroid problem, vitamin K2's role in reducing the stiffening up of the arteries is important to reduce the risk of heart disease. So while this vitamin K2 might not have a direct connection, it can help. Number 1. Vitamin B. The best vitamins for your underperforming thyroid are undoubtedly vitamin B complexes, as many studies have also linked the deficiency of this vitamin with hypothyroidism. Vitamin B6, for example, is needed by the thyroid to effectively use iodine to make its hormones. If the body doesn't have enough riboflavin or vitamin B2, it makes the thyroid unable to secrete hormones. Good sources of these vitamins are milk, poultry, salmon, beef liver, and eggs. Now, before you end our list, we must mention that these vitamins aren't the only healthy nutrients that you need to remember for hypothyroidism, because many other minerals, when taken along with these vitamins, have beneficial effects on the thyroid. Iodine is one such nutrient. The thyroid gland needs iodine to make its hormones, both T3 and T4, so it can be considered a raw mineral that your body requires to ensure that the thyroid gland works properly. Seafood usually has a good amount of iodine, and adding iodized salt to your meals can also help. Another important nutrient is selenium. Our bodies have selenoenzymes called iodothionein deiodinases, which remove an iodine residue from T4, making an active form of T3, so it is required for the normal functioning of the thyroid gland. Selenium in the form of selenomethionine has been shown to have good absorption, and so can be a good way to increase your uptake of selenium. Similarly, zinc is another mineral that is needed by the thyroid gland to make T3 and T4 hormones, and its deficiency has been associated with hypothyroidism. Besides seafood, poultry and red meat also contain a good amount of zinc, so you can cook yourself a beef steak to provide your body with zinc. Besides these, tyrosine, which is an amino acid, is also required along with iodine for the thyroid to make its hormones. And in cases of hypothyroidism, doctors do recommend tyrosine supplementation. Remember, the keywords here are a doctor's recommendation. Hashimoto's disease is a complicated disorder, and while it may be the leading cause of hypothyroidism, it is not the only reason. People could have an underperforming thyroid gland for a variety of reasons. So if you or someone you know is exhibiting signs of hypothyroidism, you can discuss taking up these nutrients after consulting with your doctor. If you liked getting informed about hypothyroidism, remember to subscribe to our channel so we can keep bringing you more useful information to support your health and wellness.